Let me share my screen. So everyone, welcome to the July Open Edx Community Online Meetup. We do as I mentioned, this event is being recorded. Thank you all for joining. The Open Edx community has a number of resources available to you. First and foremost, all of our interactions, whether online or in person someday, are governed by our code of conduct. I encourage you to familiarize yourself with that. It gives you a means of getting in touch with us if something in the community seems not right to you, if you're not happy or productive, and there's something we can do about it. So please let us know if something like that comes up. We have a discourse forum at discuss.openedx.org where active discussions are happening, ranging from everything to I had this problem installing software to what do you think about this way of designing courses? And there is an introductions category there where you can introduce yourself to the community, which will help us know who you are and reach out to you in the future if there's something that you might be interested in. And last, we have a Slack workspace for more interactive chats with people. You can invite yourself to it at that URL, openedx.org/community/connect. We are, of course, on social media. We have a blog, we have a Twitter feed, we are on Facebook and LinkedIn. And I encourage you to join whichever of those channels you prefer. We try to announce things in many of them, not all of them, we're getting better at it. But go and have discussions there too. The more the merrier. This is one of our online meetups. We do these every month. I'm not sure about August, frankly, we'll see, but mostly every month. We're always looking for ideas for presenters. We have a form that you can fill out to propose a topic, and we would love to hear from you. This is meant to be the community's session to talk to the rest of the community. So if you have something interesting to say, let us know, and we'll see if it has a broad enough appeal that we can put you up here. As we go through this, we'll take questions either in the Zoom chat, or you can unmute and ask, or if you have something to chime in with, that's fine too. So last month, we announced that Juniper had been released, and Juniper came out on June 9th. It's the latest release of the Open Edx platform and all of its components. The Juniper release is large. It's nearly 18 months of development by both Edx and the community. That length of time was due to the effort to upgrade Python from Python 2 to Python 3 and Django from 1.x to 2.x. But as a result, we've got lots of great features. What's new since June is we now have collected release notes about what has changed. And they are extensive. They were large enough that we had to break them into 3 pieces: learner experiences, educator experiences, and developer experiences. And the learner experiences changes, as you can see. There's a lot that's changed. Turns out 18 months gives you a lot of time to build a lot of cool stuff. So take a look at what's in Juniper. We strongly encourage you to upgrade. Ironwood and the releases before it are based on foundational software that is no longer getting security updates, whereas Juniper is on the latest and greatest. So you should upgrade if you can, and get in touch with us if you need help with that. Go to the discourse forums and see if there are people who can help you with that. It is well worth the effort. Any thoughts or questions about Juniper other than just celebration? There's a new blog post up on openedx.org about Juniper, posted 2 hours ago, a little less than that. Thank you, Esteban, for the claps. That's good. Okay, on to Koa. By the way, the next release is going to be called Koa. All the releases are named alphabetically after trees. After J comes K. Koa is a Hawaiian tree. We've named it that at the special request of one of our longest serving engineers who grew up in Hawaii. So it's great to be able to give that to David Ormsby, finally. The Koa release will not take 18 months. We hope to get it out on a much shorter time scale than that. We've always aimed for 6-month releases. So we'll see how that goes. There are a few factors that will affect the timing of the Koa release, but it should not take 18 months. Getting used to upgrading your instances is a good thing so that you can stay current and get all the greatest features. So give Juniper a try. Esteban, yes, the next Open Edx conference is in Hawaii. Esteban has generously offered to fund everyone's travel there. So we'll all see you in Hawaii. This year, one of the things we did, and we were hoping to actually do in person in Lisbon at the Open Edx conference that was going to happen at the end of May, but could not because of the pandemic, was award what we're calling the Open Edx Prize. So we didn't have the conference, but we still did award the prize. And there are two categories of prize: technical prize, which this year went to Lab Exchange, which is an innovative platform built on the foundations of Open Edx, but with a very different user experience. I encourage you to go and take a look at Lab Exchange at labexchange.com. I think that worked. I should know that. The other category is the Instructional Design Prize. And I am not going to summarize what's different about this site that I won't pronounce in French because I know I'll get it wrong. I did not summarize what was different about that site because we have one of the creators of the site here to tell us about it in person. So our presenter is Yvain DEMOLLIERE from MOOCit, who is going to tell us about les Copros Vertes. We have to switch over the screen share, which, since we've all been on Zoom for months, we know this never goes smoothly. So bear with us. I will stop sharing and Yvain can take over. And I have a question.
Hi, everyone. Do you hear me?
Yep.
Do you see the screen as well?
Yeah, it looks great.
Okay, good. So hi, everyone. So I'm Yvain DEMOLLIERE. I'm a MOOCit CEO. And so today I'm just going to walk through our one of our latest Open Edx projects. So we're very happy and honored to have won this this award, and I'm also very happy to show you the platform, what we did regarding the on this project. So just a few words about these initiatives. So it's called les Copros Vertes, like the green house building, if you want. All the website is in French. So it's a program that have been launched by the French government and carried out by two companies, which is Qualitel and FNAIM. So they are basically real estate companies. And the goal is to create an awareness training program for over 50,000 French citizens. And the main objectives is to tackle all the owners of house building to launch eco-friendly renovation into their own house. So the program aims at giving all the keys about how to define your renovation project, how to find your different suppliers and people who are going to do the actual renovation work. It was a 8 months project, and it's a good showcase of everything we can do at MOOCit, since we provide both the containers, so the Open Edx platform implementation, customization, and hosting for a large amount of user. And we also provide the instructional design and all the course content productions. So it's all the copywriting, all the illustration, the video production as well. This program has been launched in November last year. This is the registration page. So it's directly on the Open Edx platform. So I'm just going to walk through as a standard net learner how it looks, and if you have any questions, just feel free to to stop me, and I will be happy to explain a bit more how we did this or that part of the platform. So we are here on the, as you might have recognized, the native register page. There have been a lot of customization around this Open Edx platform, so using a custom theme and also changes on the Edx platform code itself. So this kind of a landing page as well with the main messages, and here is the key points about why you should enroll into this training program. And we also advise the customers to also create like a survey to get data from their students, and because there is also sales opportunities behind this, and so they created like a survey, and they can win an electric bike if they fill in this survey, so they can get good data and insights, additional data and insights from all the learners enrolled into this course. We also enable social authentications, and we make the registration form as little as we can. At first there were more fields, and we noticed that it was reducing the conversion rate of this page, so we remove all the optional fields to have only these 3 fields to be filled up by a new user. So I already have an account. I just created now, so I'm going to log in to the platform. And so this is turned out Open Edx dashboard. This program consists of 2 courses. We call it Season 1, Season 2. Right below here, there is also a way for learners to register for on-site training. Of course, COVID-19 did not help registration on on-site training, but the good news is that they decide to continue this program for 1 more year. So it's also a good news for us as an Open Edx hosting provider. And here is the link to the survey to get additional data and insight about the learners. So the 2 courses that are part of this training program, the first one is to give the keys about how to launch a renovation project into your house. We used and we hire an actor who is also a comedian, so to write the video script with him, and so you will see with a couple of videos I will show you that he get dressed. He's also playing different kind of people that are part of a renovation project. And the second course is more advanced, and this gives more advanced materials and details about how to launch your renovation project. So when we enter into a course, so this is the course home as it is in the Open Edx. So there is this pop-up model that shows up on the first login of the user. So just explaining how it works. Here you will find different episodes in this season. There is videos, then there is a PDF that you can download. There is 5 easy questions to fill up. And you can also talk on the forums about your renovation project between peers and with our experts. Then once you complete all the episodes, you can get badges, and you will also have a nice surprise, which is basically a certificate. So they click let's go, and here is the course homepage. So with the main objectives, the content. So there is 6 episodes, 2 testimonials, 5 quizzes, and 1 assessment, final assessment. And they can click here to get the explanation model back here. And here are, in fact, what we call the section in the Open Edx standard course structure. And we enhanced a little bit the layouts to have more like a card view of each part of the course, to have a image thumbnails for each episodes of these training programs. Right below, we have an access to discussion forums because we actually remove all the course tabs on the course navigation. There is no more course tabs. So the forums are accessible here. The progress page is what we call badges and certificates. And here we got this little widget that will show the person complete. So based on the completion API completion check marks, and also a link to the progress page. So here, if I start going into this first episode, or to start the course actually. So this is how a unit looks like. We also made a lot of efforts to make it responsive. So if I switch here, for instance, on an iPhone, let me do this one, for instance. So it's yeah, it's pretty well adapted to also the tablets, iPad, and iPhone, and we also created configured the mobile apps as well for both Android and iOS. We use the same structure for this first course of the program, which is a short video, details, so it is text like a blog copywriting with illustration, and this is what we call the professional advice. So it's someone who is coming regularly into the course to give an advice about how you should do this or that with your renovation projects. You use quotes. So the idea was to make this text a bit more attractive for learners. There is also additional things that the user can download as well, such as infographic. And below is the quizzes. So here is the video, for instance, that we've made with the comedian that I was talking about in the introduction.
We're not getting the sound, but I wouldn't understand it anyway, but I can see it's very engaging.
You're not having the sound?
We don't get the sound over Zoom.
Okay.
The video coming over Zoom is, it's a little...
You have to enable the sound from your computer when you share your screen.
Ça a plusieurs avantages. Premièrement,
there you go.
Gain énergétique entre 35 et 55%. Et qui dit gain énergétique, dit gain sur la facture d'énergie. Ah, ça, je le récupère. Et comme il n'y a pas que l'argent dans la vie, ah bah si, quand même. Non, la rénovation permet aussi d'améliorer le...
So the idea here with this video was we had to have a humoristic approach because we are targeting all French citizens that owns an apartment in a city that want to renovate it in an eco-friendly manner. And when you own an apartment in a building, there is also other owners, and each one has like a different profiles. So we got the investor, we got the ecological one, we have the one who don't care at all, we have the one who is very friendly and organize all the meetings about all the flats and so on. So the idea was to play all these characters with these actors. It's still pedagogical. We had like 10 PowerPoints made by the customers. So it was around 100 slides to digest and then to create the scripts for these videos. So additionally, there is the same kind of the same topics that is developed into the video also in text formats. They can also download a PDF about the lesson, so they can really take away the lesson in PDF. And then right below there is a short quiz about what has been said into the video and just randomly answering. Okay, so I got 2 points on 5. And here we got the discussion and CTA to move to the next episode. Here is the Another changes we applied into the navigation to have this kind of sticky navigation, so they can know where to access the quiz, go back to the video pretty smoothly, or navigate to the next episode or back to the homepage. If I do go back to the homepage here, so I will have my percent completes that have been increased. So I completed this course at 14%. I don't know if I answered correctly to get the badges for these first episodes, but here this is where, so this is the progress page actually that we changed. This is the regular certificates part, so I need to work a little bit more to get my certificates. And here we got 1 badges for each episodes. So I got only 40%. Maybe if I did better, I can get this badge just to show you how it works. Do this 40% force. So they got unlimited tries for the exercise. There is no credits academic behind. The goal is that they should not be stuck or discouraged to continue because they don't have enough good answers. And so if I go back to my badges here, so I won this one, which is the first episode, 100%, and I can also share it on social network as well. We find it was also a good way to recruit new participants or learners, since yes, you have someone sharing this badge on a Facebook wall and someone into his network see it and say, hey, what this is, and so they can also enroll into this course using this social share, badges social share. So that's for the course. We changed a bit the discussion forum. We just add a profile picture on the user, just to give more human, make it more humans for the user. And then following the same structure, we have this more advanced course that I will go quicker. So this model, we changed the presenters. So it's no more humoristic, but it's more serious for people who really want to make a renovation project into the house, eco-friendly renovation. And so we have these 2 sections. So it's prepare your renovation projects and make it real. So how to get the fundings, how to launch your project. And then we also make for each part, there is 2 parts, a very practical case. So it's a use case. And so basically there is this tool which is used in France to evaluate your house in terms of ecology, your electric bills, and so on. And so based on the diagnostics that you will do, you can also answer some questions. And the second use case is like a simulation where here. So it's like a simulation where you're in charge of your of a project. You receive a different quotation for people who is going to work and do your renovation project. You get this initial audit about your house and showing what you should do, what work you should do on your house to improve it, and then a couple of questions. So it really makes the user, like in the real life, if he wants to do this for his own house, he will receive such documents, and he has to know how to read them, how to analyze them. He will receive also a quotation for different suppliers, so he also needs to read them, analyze them, and so on. So all of this have been built by our team with the help of the customer's experts on this subject. Okay, I think that's it. If you have any question.
It's very impressive. Where we come from at edx.org, we're used to university topics aimed at, multi-week, aimed at very serious students' history of China or whatever it is. And to see a topic like this that's aimed at the broad general public and then done with humor to engage them and make everything very accessible, it's very appealing. And I'm wondering if this could be used for other topics as well, even narrower topics. I mean, I don't know if you've learned something about the approach that would inform other instructional designers about what works in other types of topics.
Yeah, the idea was, since it was very wide audience, and we really don't want to bore them, and because it was a program that first we launched the season 1, and then season 2 came up like 3 months later. And so the humor part was really to make it the more engaging as we can.
Yep.
So to not lose them. And when the season 2 was released, it was a bit more serious, because the topics, and you need to be serious at some point. But this one, for a very overview or get up to speed on, okay, what is a eco-friendly model, what is a renovation work, how it will impact your house, and so on. So on the very first level, the humor was a good suggestion we had, actually.
And did your client like the idea initially, or did you have to convince them that it was okay to be humorous about what they take very seriously?
I think they liked it initially. It was during pre-sales, so there were a bunch of other suppliers, and they asked for having like a pilot during the pre-sales, and so we discussed internally, and we thought that the humor part was the best approach. So we shot the pilot, we edit it, and when we show it during the presentation, the pre-sales presentation, they really liked it, and they took this proposal and make it their own. So all the management above and everyone that was involved in the project really liked this point of view.
That's good. Scott has a question in the chat, which is actually kind of long. Scott, do you want to ask it?
Thank you, Yvain. This is great, and great to see an application of the Edx course interface. In a brainstorming way, I'm wondering in what ways you could see eventually with these courses helping end users to actually be able to design architecturally their renovations, and in something like a realistic virtual earth for architecture, and in something like Google Street View with Time Slider, with AutoCAD architecture software, and even Second Life for group building and with avatars. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Why not? But actually, maybe something I'm not able to say properly in English, but this program is for what we call co-owners. So they are basically, all the renovation work that we do will be on the whole building that have several flats and several owners. So the main is not to renovate your own flats, but really to change the whole buildings, the roof, the external walls, the heating systems, and so on. So yeah, maybe. But the one key aspect was really yeah, how to make your other owners of the buildings wants to do eco-friendly renovation. So it's good for the money, it's good for the earth, it's good for the comfort, and how to convince them during the regular meeting they have each quarter about their property.
Great, thank you so much.
I have more questions, but I want to make sure that other people have a chance if they want to ask a question. So, Yvain, so this is a huge retheming of the Open Edx software as we deliver it to the community. What in particular was the most challenging part of it? I know there's a number of challenges in doing, especially an extensive retheming, but I'm curious if you have any pointers for us about where especially it represented a challenge.
The responsive version, because at first we did everything on sketch tools, so to show to the customers how the platform will looks. So prior any custom team development, we do all the screens in an external design tool. And then we also did not thought at first to do also the responsive version. So we have also when we changed a lot of things in the UI, we also have to do the changes also for iPad and for iPhone format. That was a tricky part to make it very slick and responsive way, and also because the customers wanted to change this the navigation, so like this sticky nav.
Yep.
And we are also using the mobile app, and this is not the sequence. This is a raw HTML component that is very specific, and so we don't want this to appear on small screens. For instance, we don't want this navigation on the mobile app, for instance. Here we are using Vimeo, and we want it to look very slick on the mobile app as well. So we have to do a lot of testing that the platform will still looks good on your desktop, on your phone, and also on the mobile app. So on the Edx platform perspective, that was one of the tricky parts. The other parts is quite easy to get the person complete, to create some badges based on the assignment types, for instance. I guess that's it.
Okay. Is there any part of this work that could be contributed back into the Open Edx core? I know not the entire theme, of course, because it's a special look here, but I'm wondering if there's any foundational work that might have made the retheming easier, or of the badging or something.
Well, actually for the custom theme, we did not really use the comprehensive themings approach. We kind of like have our own SAS files that generate a CSS that overrides overall styles of the platform. Mm-hmm. But we do use SAS, and I don't know, maybe this discussion forums thing with the profile pictures that could be interesting. We now for all platform we make it available by default. Just this part here,
mm-hmm.
which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
And it's just 2 or 3 files to change.
Mm-hmm. Seems like a good change.
Here is it's kind of easy change of the course outline, just adding some image tag and make it more dynamic so you can get data from the section or subsection itself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's so customized that I don't know what we could
Right.
cherry pick that can.
Yeah, I understand this. This is a massive change, and so it's hard for one little piece of it to be separable enough to contribute in. But I'm always on the lookout for things that people have done that could go into the Common Core and be available to everyone. And there's probably lots of people who are doing a style of education that this would be better suited for than the out-of-the-box experience.
Yeah, we actually so spent too many times on this one, on this custom team, but it's kind of now like a template we can propose to different other customers.
Yep.
Like, okay, if you're more academic or if there is a lot of course content, we go for the native course outline when user can dig into section, subsection, unit. But if it's a course like a 1 hour, 2 hour course, this layout is often preferred by customers.
Sure. Well, and it's great that you've got it in your toolbox for other customers of yours that might want that kind of thing.
Yeah, sure.
Any other questions? Thank you, Yvain. That was great. To be honest with you, I visited this site and it's different enough that I did not even, and I can't speak the language. I did not know where the courses were, which is a testament to just how different the navigation is.
Yeah, true.
Yes, and Pablo in the chat says, maybe you can share your process like in a blog post. I think we can know some new things from there. It is a very different course development process. For instance, so you have a professional actor and comedian. Did you also have, did the author of the script, were they someone who usually does comedy or?
Yeah, it's he's doing comedy and we found it on YouTube like years ago, and we always wanted to work with him.
I see.
And so during the pre-sales, we took the opportunity to say, okay, we have this huge project. It's French government finance. So we have the money. You do this for free. We do a pilot, and if it good for the customers, then we can do many more videos. Yep. And so we came with the knowledge that we gather from the customers, from their PowerPoint, and then we talked like during a day, 2 days, to write the scripts and to find some jokes, some nice way of saying things, what kind of suits or how he could be dressed, what kind of character he can play, and saying this and that. So it was actually a pretty fun exercise to do.
It sounds great. Sounds way more interesting than most courses.
Yeah, just behind a green screen reading your script. So the script writing was very nice and fun.
Right, and Scott's got another biz dev idea for you, which is to collaborate with IKEA.
Oh, okay.
Once your house is all renovated and nice and toasty, you want some new furniture in there too.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome.
So now we have an open mic. If anyone has any questions, Karen in the chat says, I'm visiting this community to better understand what the requirements are for conducting training on the Open Edx platform. If you could point me to written information, that would be really helpful. We can give you some verbal information at first, Karen. So the one thing that it turns out edX people know really well, but is really hard to explain to the rest of the world, is the difference between edX.org and Open Edx. edX.org is one website with 3,000 courses. Open Edx is the software that powers edX.org. And many people use Open Edx software to then run their own sites, like the one we just saw. And there are 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 sites out there run with Open Edx. And every one of those platforms has a different strategy for finding instructors, finding courses, developing courses. So in some sense, the requirements for conducting training on Open Edx are, well, you just need to find someone to help you get the software up and running, and then you can start writing courses. And then you've got the usual internet problem of, well, now I have a website. How do I get people to my website? How do I get them aware of it? How do I entice them to come there? All those questions. But there is no central authority that is gatekeeping who can write courses to run on Open Edx, because everyone's running their own Open Edx site. So I don't know if that is the kind of answer you were looking for.
Yeah, I did. So I've been doing kind of some research on MOOCs across all of the MOOCs, and so I support a corporate learning and development team, and we have our own train the trainer facilitator readiness program. And once they become, I'm going to say, pretty seasoned or experts in their field, like let's say it's autonomous driving cars, or it's ADAS, or it's artificial intelligence, we are looking for maybe some opportunities for them to teach on the outside of our organization. So that's why I've been doing this kind of this research. So I thought there must be some type of requirements for somebody to be able to actually get on any of these MOOCs and train, but maybe I'm mistaken.
Right. So for instance, at edx.org, the courses that run on edX, the website, edx.org, are authored by one of the 150 or 120, 150 or so institutions that are partners at edx.org. And every course is authored by one of them. So there are Harvard courses and MIT courses and Rice University courses. And the instructors in those courses are all on the faculty of those institutions.
Got it.
As we've just seen, so Les Copros Vertes is it's not a private institution, it's actually government funded, but there's 2 custom courses, and it was done with government funding for a particular reason. Among the thousands of other Open Edx sites, it runs the whole gamut. We have people teaching Pilates, instructors how to teach Pilates using Open Edx, as well as lots of universities and schools, and so it runs the gamut.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate joining your meeting today. Thank you for letting me join. That was
Sure,
pretty
of course. Any other open mic? Scott, I'm not sure.
Just some observations in the comments.
I was impressed with the Jury X, Harvard X, edX, that's a lot of X's, course with Threads technology for conversation, and as another possible enjoyable course edX model, open edX model. We'll have to go and find that one. Thank you. I'm a stickler for the distinction between edX and Open Edx, and I know it's a natural thing for people to shorten their terms and for people to say edX where they mean Open Edx. But as the Open Edx team guy at edX, it's kind of half of my job to make sure people know the difference.
Can I ask how much do they share in common? How modular are they? Intermodular?
Well, edx.org is run on top of the Open Edx platform. There are other parts of edX that are not, that are open sourced but are not generally useful to the community, and there are some parts that are not open sourced. But there is, Open Edx is a subset of edx.org. Let's put it that way. In terms of the software. Another thing that people need to understand is that the courses that are running on edx.org are not part of Open Edx. The courses themselves are copyright by their authoring institutions and are not publicly available. So when people say, what is edX? It is a bunch of software running a bunch of courses. The software is Open Edx, the courses are private. Any other topics for open mic?
Could you just briefly clarify, since this is an open mic, I know we're focusing a little bit on Yvain's topic as well, but the relationship between edX and Edx And Open Edx, I think World University and Schools is going to become a part of Edx soon. So,
okay. Well, so I can't speak to that last part. I have no idea what conversations you're having with edX about joining edX. But so edx.org is the public-facing website, which is meant for large public courses, MOOCs. We also run a site which is called edge.edx.org, which has been used for various things over the years. Some of it is for private on-campus courses for our partners, and some of it is for experimental stuff that our partners want to try out. But for the most part, it's not a publicly used site.
Great, thank you.
And actually, seeing that I am on the Open Edx team at edX, I'm probably the person at edX who knows the least about what Edge is actually used for. But that's my view of it. Marco can chime in if he's got a clarification piece. He's still here. It looks like Marco had to drop off. All right, you got me, so that's the explanation.
Thank you very much.
Sure. Any other questions, topics, announcements? We don't have to use up the whole time, of course. I appreciate everyone showing up. Remember that we are always on the lookout for topics. August, we might take a gap just because vacation time, it's a little harder to get things going. But we do these every month, and I appreciate you showing up and listening and asking interesting questions. It's always very encouraging to me to see what the community is doing. To me, the really important thing about Open Edx being open source is that people out there can do education that edx.org itself would not do. If edx.org could teach the entire world all by itself, we wouldn't need to open source the software. But Liz Corp Vert is something that edX would not do, but Open Edx has enabled MOOCit to do it. And so that's really great. So I love hearing these kinds of stories. Bring me your successes. We love sharing it with the community. We love seeing what's going on out there. Thanks, everyone. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, bye.
Bye, everyone.